Greetings and salutations, my brothers, and welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. Last time we finished the, as I've written, of Casterus, Mighty, Cypher, and Glaya, I think. So today we should be able to finish the last of it off. God damn, this cough's not going away. My throat's still like super easily irritated. It's so annoying. All right, let's go. Oh, hey, Commander. How you been doing? All right, let's go with chapter 6, Healer of Light, Hyacinthia, part 1, in the courtyard. Oh yeah, you should totally get into art. It's a good hobby. Keeps your brain nubile, apparently.
On the leaves, the rustling wind plays a melody as the girl looks over this courtyard petite and exhales, gently dispersing the palm-held blessings. The entire yard is lit softly, like a dandelion bathed in sunlight.
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides warmth plenty.
The girl makes the courtyard tidy, and in the Evernight lands outside the holy city, there is now a light curing souls' maladies. The girl's skills can bring forth miracles, but today she welcomes a patient quite special.
Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The gravely patient shakes their head.
The end times are coming, and we all wander more and more. Oh, you may heal our wounds, but you cannot cure despair.
The girl watches the patient leave, and her heart swells in sorrow.
Clementine, prepare some things with me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow.
The redhead child takes the girl's hands.
Long time no see, Hyacinth. Are you here in Akama for a visit, or do you need help from us?
The girl recounts her needs.
I want some shining things, even if they are considered junk.
Multicolored paper bags, crystal clear glass, cottons variously dyed, and jingling wind chimes. The girl brings them back to the courtyard and spares no effort to decorate all around. And when some fireflies wander in, the girl is all smiles.
Little ones, thank you for your light.
The patient returns here and opens their eyes wide. Multicolored dreams on the rooftop now reside, and the lawns contain the sweet whispers of sunlight. A soft breeze passes with no hint of cold, only serving to wake the playful chimes and ocarinas of delight.
Wow, there's light everywhere. What a warm place.
The news is soon spread by the grove, and people with empty hearts visit in droves. the girl prepares candies and tea and listens to every visitor's complaints. People say there was once a star called the Sun in the sky, but now that star is no longer there. People say that Aquila took away the world's light, but they still left behind a heart bright to illuminate this happy dream in the night. Like the blizzards in the month of mourning doth calamity fall, burying warmth and dawn's calls. Orderless tides swallow up the grove of reason, and that tiny healing haven is also extinguished, broken and barren. When the girl, far from home, hears of such grave news, the wind brings to her a moment of confusion, but it also evaporates the tears that briefly sparkle into being, and the girl still smiles, bright and happy. Soon, the people of Akima see once again the girl collecting more pieces and tokens, wanting to rebuild that pure haven. But she never realized that wherever she stood, she herself was that holy courtyard, that light-filled haven.
I'm not familiar with pulp designs, Commander. My brain instantly went to like old novel covers.
This world may contain thousands of ills, but the number of sufferers is countless, like ocean-going sails. The father and daughter who inherited the sky wander this land's paths.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Throughout the cities, they
That sounds
heal
awesome.
the unwell.
Heirs of the sky who once reveled in martial might, why do you now soothe the world's blistering blight?
The doctor responds with a smile as he cures the injury's agony.
Father, why did our ancestors revel in warlike might?
Because they only have a sorrowful past of lamenting wails.
Then why are we here, soothing the blight?
Because we have a future that needs protection still.
The priest who parts dusk from dawn collapsed the sky and sealed her wings, and dwells in a place where time itself mends, bearing the promise to return to the Zenith Supreme.
This is the Twilight Courtyard's story.
And the father tells his daughter the tale of their line, next to the bonfire lit in the wilderness where winds pine. Though he had told this story many times before, a light in the girl's eyes still shines.
Maybe I will return to the sky one day.
Or maybe that is not to be your fate.
The blessings of the sky were passed down through generations of their heirs. The brawn of the Titan who molded stars granted a boon fitting and fair. Perhaps the girl with heroic blood in her veins will be accompanied by thunderbolts and the sun's merciless glare. Childishly, she recited the words,
Oh sky, heed my wishes.
and thunder and heat did not descend. she only saw a sliver of gentle, warm flare, wiping away mortal exhaustion and others' tired airs. What a gentle blessing. All said that she must be a savior saint, bringing light to the land, even if faint. But where the girl's eyes often gazed was the wine-dark sky, gloomy and bleak.
The god is also sick.
That grand longing to save the world may be no more than the girl's feeble dream. But her father treated it as his greatest treasure and taught her all the ways of potions and creams. That girl therefore always accompanied the gentle master of healing and repair. And she brought glowing faint light to the night, dispelling pains and mending the world's pitchy blight. Father and daughter often rested in the silent courtyard under the giant tree. Yet today, at that place, only one solitary figure can be seen. On that night, the healer spoke to a visitor throughout the night. On that morning, he bid farewell to his daughter for the first time. He will heal the ill at a faraway place where the end of days approaches and no family of his should follow.
You have learned the craft of healing and understood the blessing. But a light more radiant still is needed to heal the entire world.
The departed healer never returned, and the girl never left. And that rather lonely courtyard stayed silent as it was before.
A good student who often did stupid things.
Was the assessment from the Lotophagist sage.
An excellent healer who fails at all scholarly means.
Was the assessment from the Nodist sage.
A shining child who also burns away her own life's rays.
Was the assessment from the Erythrocaramist sage.
A fool who was always wreathed in smiles, while drowning in a weighty and pitiful dream.
Was the assessment from the Neusporist sage. The girl had visited all the schools during her time studying at the Grove. She refused to become a scholar, despite her exemplary grades.
Instead of increasing this world's knowledge, I prefer to reduce its pain.
While the sages faced her words in silence, the Neusporist sage alone decided to hire her as assistant post-haste.
An apprentice who spends wisdom is more precious than scholars who hide knowledge away.
The faded twilight courtyard, long eroded by time, now shelters a girl, the sole heir of her lineage. Loneliness accompanied her days, till the sage of the Caprists visited her and brought her a chromatic pony with a grin.
It may be the Eye of Twilight's creation in times gone by, for it shines with the sky's rainbow hues within.
Could it be the warlike winged beast of her father's tales? But the sleepy and dreary-eyed pony before her was soft as freshest plucked cotton. The girl still took this gift, for from the little creature she smelled the scent of clouds distant.
If it weren't for her, I would have suffered more accusations.
The new Sporism sage says in admission. The scholars coming to deliver arguments and reproach often stopped before the door, not coming to fruition. For the girl before the door soothed their blazing anger like the soft clouds, gentleness in cumulation.
Do you know what sacrileges he has committed?
The girl muddles her answers, yet her heart knows in full admission.
Like you and me, he too wishes to heal all of this world's afflictions.
The girl treated ailments for many years in the grove, composing her medical treatises into tomes. When scholars seek medical help, she realizes with a startle that kindness too can grow into its own bloom. By that time, the twilight already lost their eyes, and the world drowns in evernight, while the girl and the healer again traverse the world in gloom. Seeing the golden thread and ivy in the night, though it has been long since she recalled her past, she once again thinks of her childhood dream.
Should the sun be dimmed by destiny's decree, then the dawn that heals the world, I shall replace.
That's where little Ika came from.
On that day, the dawn promised by the Sky Father shattered in haste as the black tide surged, breaking through the walls with relentless grace. In a quaint yet exquisite courtyard, two bitter foes meet at journey's end, their fates entwined in fate's regard. With no escape, no road behind, they trade a weary smile in kind. Together they gaze at the heavens afire.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
Not long ago, as the romantic demigod closed her eyes, the girl bottled her tears in sorrow and once more opened the dim-lit garden wide. Two figures step into the courtyard's gate. A general of Krymnos, her body torn, by vengeance bound, by fury swayed. A noble of the holy city, once wrapped in gold, now haunted by a fate betrayed. A simple injury, or so the girl believed, yet the two women met with scorn, their words like blades. Because their children fled in love's embrace, while bloodied pasts left scars in place. A feud unbroken by countless years, a chasm carved by blood and spears. This was a sickness beyond the girl's touch.
Just do your duty as a healer, girl.
Family feuds are like sunlight and storm clouds. They cannot mend.
At last, the girl saw it clear. The courtyard's birth, in days of yore, was born to mend the rift of dusk and dawn.
Then I will make every effort to have you cast aside your difference in this faint light.
Before long, the general's wounds were healed, and the noble's worries gently repealed. Yet when their gazes met once more, the loathing within remained unswayed. The girl then spoke the tale of her skykin, of a grandmother's sacrifice, a father's flight from within, of ancestors who descended, leaving their feud behind. Their hands in hers, she held them tight, yet flames of hatred burned too bright. She did not waver or despair. She just smiled and gazed upon the sky.
I will use my own fate to prove to you.
The courtyard, once bright, lay steeped in night. Hanging blossoms and wind chimes all swallowed by the black tide. The general raised her spear for the noble's sake, while the noble whispered prayers for the general, gentle as a lake.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
The death they awaited never came. Instead, a cascade of colors fell from the heavens, simply there, protecting them both. The sky still burned, dark and low, yet her words lingered, a gentle ember refusing to fade.
I will use my own fate to prove to you. Day and night can be mended, and so can hatred be undone.
Sky Castrum, its ruins like a blind and weary eye, gazes upon the earth in its dying sight. Alone, the girl remained upon the battlefield. No time to shy from the searing gold, no will to wear her usual smile. She fought her way to destiny's edge. Of the crumbled mural, but one piece endured. A corner betraying the day thunder night, dazzling in blaze. She placed her hand upon the mural, pain seared through skin and bone, as the picture claimed her within its lines.
Nothing is mightier than the sky. It holds countless wonders within its clouds, and each opening and closing of the eyes brings dawn and dusk.
In that painted world, the girl Celiosi's eyes glowed, watching her father, steel-clad and unyielding, cross the land beneath the searing sun. But the girl known as Hyacinth recalled her father's fragile light in the dark, the journeys into lands unknown, marked by endless sunlit days and restless winds.
The sky is the gentlest of all. It watches over all things with compassion, showering them with soft rain and morning light.
And yet, the sky remains so cold. It witnesses believers tear each other apart. And still, it cowardly flees from all responsibility.
Within the frame of that image, the one called Celiosi bore fury in her gaze, her golden blood trailing as she turned from home, sharpening arrowheads beneath the wide and barren sky. Hyacinth remembered her grandmother's song. She recalled her prayer to Aquila before her grandmother's journey, and how bitterness followed her to an unknown land.
But the sky is so lonely too. Forever distant from the world beneath. It watches every sorrow, unable to intervene.
No. The sky must be merciless. It must scorch the wicked, temper the fragile, and pass divine judgment upon all human wickedness.
Within the mural, the girl named Celiosi became the divine eye, gazing down without mercy, a titan passing judgment upon her own kind. But in memories deep, Hyacinth heard their call, the golden threads that shielded all, the burning sun, vast and unyielding, carrying the weight of all the world had known.
No, the sky must not forsake kindness. Through its boundless embrace, it carries the core flame of hope for humanity.
The sky, it's so dark, so cold.
In the depths of memory, the girl named Celiosi pulls her knees to her chest and trembles.
Then please, come sit in my courtyard.
A gentle ray of light seeped through, the celestial mural now fused anew. Once more, the land knows favor and boons. The girl who has now become the sky takes the hand of the girl who once was.
I want to tell you the secret of the sky's greatness. Whenever the anguished earth looks to it, it always offers a smile in return.
Man, Hyacinth truly is a cinnamon roll. Alright, let's go with Dan Hung. Soaring Dragon without restraint, Dan Hung. Part 1, Beast of the Desolate Ancient Land.
The ancient chaos was shrouded in silence and shadow. The giant dragon's offspring was born from the earth. Sweet dreams had smothered the giant dragon's eyes and ears, and as they slept, the 100 eyes of Aquila had already opened, and Fagusa had begun to stir the playful waves. Yet Georios remained weighty and silent. Layer upon layer of peaks enveloped the dragon, cradling them in a bed more grand than any in existence. The giant dragons spent their childhood in darkness. From the moment their bleary eyes blinked open from haze of slumber, they hungered to feast on crude iron and drink deep of molten lava. Until one day, they raised their head and with a low, guttural voice, pleaded to glimpse light. The Titan lifted them up by their ribs, slowly raising them. The dragon's spine sliced through the strata of rock, cutting open the soil. When they reached the surface, they summoned mist woven of the fire of the stars. As though seeing themselves clearly and in full through the eyes of a giant bird. The giant dragon walked the earth alone. The Titan knew they were lonely and terrified too, and so sculpted new beasts from flesh and bone. In that wild, barren world, the giant dragon led the beasts of the earth. Excessively long life gifted the giant dragon with eyes that could pierce the veil of years. They witnessed the separation of day and night, as well as the entanglement of reason and romance. And even Kephali did not neglect to share with them a chalice of golden blood. The ocean teased, saying even should the earth sink utterly, they would not rot. Ever since they opened their eyes, the giant dragon rarely returned to slumber. And thusly, that mesmerizing dream that occasionally burst forth at night etched a trace on their memory. The gods they were familiar with were in this dream, and they were as immense and imposing as ever, yet had lost their freedom. Just what manner of magnificent pathstrider could imprison the Titans as mere reflections? The giant dragon dreamed also of their own path, that great breath from the heavens, or perhaps from beyond even the heavens. They dreamed of silver shards amongst the stars, reflecting the form of another giant dragon. That great cerulean dragon approached Amphorius, the distant whispers roiling, becoming a roar engraved in the earth. They recognized the meaning in that low roar, its name, Permanence.
We're the oldest of the
In
countless
the
fiends.
years spent wandering the earth, the giant dragon always remembered the Titan's words for their worth. The beasts of the land surrounded it in protection, while twisted beings shuffled and roared, and delicate chimeras climbed up its shoulders. After, the tiny humans came into being. They dashed alongside the giant dragon, then, in the blink of an eye, disappeared across the land.
What a beautiful era of peace.
Yet the deep irises of the giant dragon saddened in gloom. The ancient creature saw, earlier than the Titan did, hidden in the deep ocean, the incoming doom. The giant dragon recalled, at the moment that strife was born, the chalice of plenty sighed, and the heretical tide spread from the seabed. Bearing their bone-gnawing pain and agony, Giorios tightened every fiber in their body, no longer hearing the call of their creations clearly.
Your pain cannot save the lives in this world.
The giant dragon once swore an oath at the Titan's breast. And now, the dragon silently turned and departed, leaving the plateaus and mountains of a secluded world and entering the bustling cities humankind crowded. Thousands of years later, the giant dragon realized those tiny creations of Kefali had rooted their civilization in time.
How can there be such a huge Dromus?
Dromus? No, that's a walking mountain of gold.
Curious residents were amazed at its appearance, while greedy brokers calculated its value. Yet the giant dragon simply walked in leisure, not harming a single building of any stature, nor paying heed to anyone. It quietly listened to the people's language, and its form dissolved in the flames of war. Many years later, Akula closed their eyes, and the giant dragon's steps were finally halted. A swordmaster who broke the waves stopped its way, and a ruler, commander of the chessboard, looked up with inquiry.
Are you the Dromus that has been attacking all states?
The commander invited the giant dragon to hunt the divine flames together. The giant dragon nodded, but it did not look at the commander, and never mentioned where it came from. Its timeless sight had already seen past the Flame Chase's final plight.
Georios shall be executed here!
The Titan, in a painful daze, closed their eyes with a sigh.
Do not blame you, wild ancestor of all souls.
Suddenly, the mountains shook and the land cracked. The wounds dealt by the black tide, once mended by the Titan, now tore the land apart again. The calamity of lands asunder. Who should shoulder such a duty? The giant dragon sunk into the earth in answer. For the earth was the breast of Georios, and the dragon's birthplace. And from that day forth, Amphorius had a new legend of how a giant dragon collected the broken lands and once again made the earth whole. Another century of the Chrysos War. Rust, wails, and the blood of living souls seep into the earth, into the giant dragon's decaying bones and flesh. The trembling bedrock is the giant dragon's eyes. They see Dromuses reduced to laborers and food. Mythical beasts turned into weapons of war. War and flames extinguish all their siblings. Yet the giant dragon is powerless, left only with bitter silence and memories filled with guilt. For Earth's trial is to bear the anguish of every living being that walks its surface. Upon the edge of doomsday, the giant dragon's will lays shattered, its scales broken. What greeted them is not a flower-covered era nova, but a long-fallen black sword.
How we are strangers. Please surrender the core flame for the dawn.
Dawn. Dawn. If this puppet of destruction yearns for dawn, then what awaits at the end of the flame chase? The torment of the black tide, the sacrifice of their kin. Is it an undeserved destiny? Or merely futile lament?
Won't accept this.
The twisted rocks rise like a roaring tide. Yet the Swordmaster shows no fear, merely sighs, as if long accustomed to such sights. The rusted joints are shattered, one by one. The cracked husk peels away, spilling golden blood. The earthquake that engulfs Amphorius lasts for 3 days and nights. In its final moments of defiance, the giant dragon suddenly realizes this flame chase is nothing but the kindling of self-pity, the breeding ground for calamity. Yet, Earth's end is not dimmed by the shadow of the dark blade. In that special recurrence, the blazing sun extinguishes itself to set the destruction of flame. At that time, as the giant dragon sinks into the earth, still chewing on the pain of betrayal, it hears the footsteps of Evernight.
I need a helper to watch over time until the very end.
Evernight waves her sleeve, bathing the giant dragon in a memoria tide. And so, the giant dragon sees the past and present of Earth, and understands that the starry sky is forever out of reach. The 33,550,337th eternal recurrence. The demigod Terravox feigns their fall, using the tides of memories to dilute their existence, forging an arc with Earth's core flame. In that 1,000 years of defiance, heroes of golden blood meet their tragic end, while the giant dragon remains deaf to their plight, only silently gathering their exiled kin. The pact with Evernight is simple. Time would erase the pain of Earth and cradle it in peaceful slumber among its own. And Earth shall become Time's ally, for it alone can keep watch until the end of the world.
Oh, why did they put Don Hung there? He hasn't appeared yet. Spoilers, God.
The flame-chasing heroes once scorned the giant dragon, for they refused to crush any foe beneath their feet.
A foolish earth beast.
A heretic who refuses to serve the flame chase.
After staying for several days, the giant dragon bids farewell to the Imperator.
The flame chase is a glory that belongs only to the children of humanity.
You are a benevolent beast. I had no intention of keeping you captive. A decree to protect innocent lives is about to be issued. All I ask is that you lend a hand to the flame chase in the future.
Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey. Yet the giant dragon remembers their creator's command. After leaving the Imperator's capital, the giant dragon shelters small beasts upon its back, only to be hunted by city-states hungry for meat. Arrows pour down like rain, unable to pierce the giant dragon's skin, yet cause the creatures on their back to wail and fall. Until a mighty force of reinforcements brings this tragedy to an end. They raise a shield wall for the giant dragon, then marched forth and crushed that city-state.
The mountain dwellers are not a warlike people. Who are you?
The leading knight answered loudly.
I am Mountain Breaker, Geocles.
All all the world knows that protecting all of Earth's creations is the creed of the Dromas Legion. The world also knows the Dromas Legion is ever victorious. The giant dragon under the Mountain Breaker is silent, yet unstoppable.
Endurance does not help with survival.
Mountain Breaker always speaks of his friend this way, while the giant dragon only responds with a low growl. Soon after, when word came that the flame-chasing army targeted Earth, the Dromas riders set forth in full force, all to protect their creator. On the eve of the march, the giant dragon receives a secret message.
Your one and only flame chase must be to slay your creator, and then fight to survive.
Records state, in the Battle of the Abyss, the Dromas riders were broken after Terravox's betrayal. The Mountain Breaker shed his armor and fell from the cliffs to his end. Earth carved the memories of the betrayal into its strata, until Evernight would leaf through them.
Oh, Earth. Time is willing to wash away that pain of betrayal.
As a memo sprite, the mighty Mountain Breaker reunites with the giant dragon. His voice trembles in a whisper.
That couldn't have been your choice.
The giant dragon only responds with a low growl. The giant dragon and their comrade dwell in the abyss for 1,000 years, until the Azure Dragon returns from among the stars, stirring up the dust of destiny.
He is one of our kind.
The giant dragon lifts their eyelids, gazing at the azure-colored long scion, knowing that dragon's body bears the sworn duty of protection. But in Mountain Breaker's eyes, there is only resolute determination.
That is the permanence.
The permanence can heal the divine form of the giant dragon. The permanence can guide life past its end. At the edge of the world, watching their comrade's silhouette fade away, the dying giant dragon shakes its head and sighs.
The permanence is not a panacea, but rather a bridge.
Years later, gazing up at the vast starry night sky, I often ponder, what does the permanence truly mean? The countless souls entrusted by Terravox still surge within my chest, like an eternally burning furnace. I once thought about finding them a home, and tried to communicate with them in my heart. And yet, the living beings of this world, they are now inseparable from me. As if from the very beginning, they were a branch of my own bloodline.
Inseparable?
After I told everyone, a heated discussion broke out in the express car.
Will you turn into a little chimera and snuggle up in our arms?
March 7th lets her imagination run wild.
Maybe he'll become a baby seal.
A magical beast would be fine too. I've always wanted to see that species.
These are the reassuring words from Himiko and Mr. Yang.
No matter what he becomes, Dan Heng will always be Dan Heng.
His words are unusually poetic.
But if you become a Dromus, you absolutely must let me feed you red soil.
Don't you even think about it. Sometimes I have dreams like this. Countless beings flee alongside me. Behind us, black floods blot out the sky as if to devour all signs of life. In our darkest hour, the living beings form a bridge of dragons, and I lead them limping towards the starry sky. At the end of the vast procession, a lone giant dragon comes to a halt, watching us depart into the distance.
The children of Earth will always find their own path. Thank you for being their bridge.
Something stirs within me at the moment of awakening. Perhaps the legacy of the permanence lies not in recreating flesh, nor in the merging of bloodlines. One day, while browsing through the databank, I noticed an update on the universe's animal species. In an ocean-covered planet, a new species of seals evolved, with a penchant for bumping into things. On a barren desert wasteland, evolved a herd of red soil-craving beasts. Many familiar silhouettes are now active in the cosmic ecosystem, yet they are not my old Amphorian friends. This is their rebirth. This is life's way forward. Perhaps, just as Terravox wished, I've become a bridge bearing the weight of their life. They once shattered the battle formation of the mountain dwellers, tore open Giorios's chest, swallowed the core flame, only to resolutely pass it on. Creation will always betray its creator, just as witnessed at the dawn of civilization. Frail beings betrayed the dark tides, climbing onto land, ascending the branches high, finally betraying their home and gazing upon the stars. The furnace in my chest still pulses. In the gaps between the heated torrents, I sometimes find myself in a daze, catching glimpses of that colossal figure in the cosmos's cracks. It was a giant dragon, named the Permanence.
Huh. That was a post-Amphorius entry. That's super interesting. So Danheng keeps the core flame afterwards. The fact that the scepter can make real things is terrifying. Also, somehow the core flame combined with the permanent and caused evolution infections across the universe? That's interesting. Didn't think that was possible. Alright. Second last one. Mysterious foreign guest. March 7th. When I called you mother.
The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates gently open on the day of prayer, and the crowd crouched, whispering like the tide. The priests of Yanis listened to the prophecies. The unwavering axis of the scales of Talantin maintains balance, and only Orynyx remains silent.
Mother, teach me how to answer prayers.
The Titan tasked with time is as perplexed as a child.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out.
Listen carefully. The future they want is in the past.
Like the first light of the morning star.
Really? In the past?
The child sank into a peaceful slumber of recollection, whispering revelations in their sleep. Until the masses crying out amidst the flames of war were swept away by the sounds of sharp swords locking, the fires of ambition incinerating the law.
Mother, usurper, assassinate the divine body.
Memories are tightly entangled by nightmares with nowhere to run.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
An unfamiliar voice rings out.
Go to sleep. The ending they want is yet to be born.
Like the warm glow of the setting sun.
Really? Not here yet?
The child continues to sleep, waiting for the next waking dream. And when they opened their eyes, two of the three fates who once received offerings had already faded from the pages of history.
Mother, I'm already all alone.
The child let out a helpless cry.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out in the mirror.
Just wait. The stars that illuminate the night will visit in the end.
Like gentle moonlight. The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates now closed tight. People no longer pray to a titan who cannot touch the world. Within the inescapable dreamscape, the flower stems nourished by the black tide serve as a swaddling embrace, drowning the young child's soul.
Mother, help me leave this place.
But this time, they didn't receive a response. Only long years of yearning and pain. Like the silence of the Evernight. Days and nights passed, the years turned. Dust covers the glory of the past. The priests have forgotten this titan.
Waiting. Hate waiting.
They watched over the slumbering sprite, gazing at the dull mirror. But a fleeting mirage flickers in the mirror, the shining stars and the lights of the home, and a strange yet familiar voice.
Wake up! Our familiar old friends have already arrived.
Like the newborn dawn.
Oh.
My friend, have you heard of the rosy celestial maiden? Whether in a corner of the archives or in the depths of a cave, you can always find legends about her. She had hair like a rosy pink dawn, and a smile that could thaw the most glacial ice. Some say she was Nikador's nemesis, while others say Nestia was infatuated with her. Oh, mysterious and beautiful celestial maiden, how I wish to turn into a slate, forever etched with your tale. Many claim to have seen that celestial maiden, either in the half-remembered dreams of early morning, or in the gossip and whispers after supper.
She once whispered in my ear.
She once saved my life.
She gifted me an ice crystal!
Her worshippers recite her deeds, even writing some into family teachings. Curious poets ask up and down the land, only to find that the details of these encounters are difficult to recount, even for the witnesses themselves. In the entire holy city, there are none who can provide proof of her existence. It is not known since when the Celestial Maiden was always mentioned together with time. People recite her name during prayer to beg for miracles to appear faster. It is said that even in the selection of priests of time, girls with pink hair are preferred.
They still didn't pick me! Ugh, maybe I need to go dye my hair.
The brunette candidate was upset, but the examiner responded with a smile.
Don't forget the Healer of Twilight. Has a head of pink hair. She's a descendant of the sky.
Soccer.
Scholars and poets discuss at length the origins of the rosy celestial maiden, but all mothers tell the same tale. That princess came from beyond the sky. Her shooting star, like crystal ice, pierced the fog of the Veil of Evernight. She made friends with the Titan, and whenever the month of Evernight descended, they would meet again. The children loved that tale. Therefore, as the moon turned and shifted phases, the story became true. But someone always questions, unable to read the air.
There are no worlds beyond the sky. So how can the rosy celestial maiden come from there?
Rosy celestial maiden, a world beyond the sky. The reckless adventurer takes out the photo stone, claiming it is the true work of the rosy celestial maiden. The citizens laugh at this tale, with few accepting it as true. After all, long before the guests beyond the sky arrived, the legend of the rosy celestial maiden had already covered the world. So, my friend, have you really heard of the rosy celestial maiden?
A goddamn twist. I actually don't know when that was released. That would have been a huge revelation.
Before arriving at Amphorius, our last stop was Dan Heng's homeland, a place called Xianzhou.
Xianzhou is just a general term. This starship is called the Law Fu.
I had some wonderful times there practicing swordplay. By the way, which is stronger, The bow or the sword?
I'd say the sword. It can cleave a mountain in half.
You've been watching too many Immersia.
I've been working my butt off just to avoid using a bow.
Come on, let's become weapon masters together.
To master a skill, one must first find a mentor. And I ended up with 2 of them. So, sometimes I run laps, sometimes I lift weights, and sometimes I do both at the same time. Looking back now, those days were really fulfilling.
No pain, no gain, am I right?
Between sword practice sessions, I occasionally hit up the food stalls in Arum Alley to recharge with some delicious eats. Oh, Master Yoon Lee was right. These berry pheasant skewers are absolutely delicious. Hard work pays off. This girl's been up at the crack of dawn every day, and finally defeated countless formidable foes.
I can testify. March really did defeat countless training dummies.
Those wooden dummies aren't exactly easy to break. It takes real skill. Every hero's story needs a villain. And when it comes to the great heroine March 7th's nemesis, it's definitely gotta be Scott.
Rather than a freight skiff, maybe an IPC eco ship would suit him better.
Ugh, why?
After all, he's got a knack for talking like animals.
During the decisive battle, I defeated Scott with my epic move, Star Shatter Shard Supreme!
Did you actually master that move?
Well, naming moves doesn't cost anything. There's still some space left, and I just happened to find a nice photo.
Well, the floor is yours, Master Dan Heng.
Don't be ridiculous. It's clearly Dan Heng's brother here.
As I thought, March has some hidden powers there too.
Oh, at least starting out random.
In memory of our first trailblaze together. The 3 of us.
On average, we got a wanted poster for every 3 planets we visited.
If I could have used my hidden powers back then, they wouldn't have dared to draw me this ugly. Playing hide and seek with Hook was fun. Those kids under her command have quite the hidden talent.
When both players in hide and seek are experts, it will turn into a contest of who can last longer without food.
On the day the overworld and underworld were connected, I too took the first cable car. The seats were so hard that day, my butt was killing me.
Let me teach you a trick. Just keep standing instead.
Then how can you even call that sitting in a cable car? For the sake of walking smoothly towards tomorrow, we sealed away the truth of the decisive battle, along with our memories, in a box. The juice that day was delicious. I want to drink it again.
Ugh, that's Jim Roger bread soda.
And what's with that March 7th themed blue and pink color in there?
That's just food coloring.
Hey, you two! Don't ruin the nostalgic mood! Visiting Yurillo again for the Soulworm Festival, I put on some pretty clothes specially for the occasion. Look! Don't I look like a princess?
So that's how you've seen yourself all this time.
Well, I want to change my clothes and become a devil too.
One day.
Little ice bear. A sweet little Snow White ice bear. I wonder if it's found any friends yet.
I think I saw it in Penacony. Why don't we turn it into a universal social media star?
That niche is already dominated by trotters.
That big guy who once raised his fists against us is now the hope for Belobog's revival.
Mr. Yang was practically drooling watching that.
Too bad he wasn't there that time.
Not necessarily.
By next time we visit Eurillo, will it have turned into an ocean planet?
Then wouldn't those polar bears have to be renamed water bears?
The data shows that Eurillo's environment is slowly recovering, but the ice shouldn't melt too quickly.
Time to remove those floaties from the shopping cart.
I heard I was once frozen in this ice block, drifting all over the universe.
Ooh, that's one way to go on a cosmic hitchhike.
If the conductor hadn't hit the brakes back then, I probably would have punched a hole right through the car, huh?
Stop being dramatic. The Express was the one that actively scooped you up.
I remember there was some six-phased ice left after it melted. I used it to make a little model. Mr. Yang explained that it's called a figure, and then made me watch anime with him all night.
That's the highest honor he can bestow.
I want a figurine too.
Every morning, the Express crew has breakfast together, but they're not always on time. I can't help it. I'm still sleepy.
Next time, get up earlier and set an alarm.
People who can get up right as soon as their alarm goes off are terrifying.
This kind of person is capable of anything. My camera's full of Pom-Pom's photos. It's so much fun dressing up the conductor.
Pom-Pom used to have a turtleneck uniform, but they rarely wear it after March came.
I love my room so much. I tidy it up every single day.
Looking at it now, that photo wall must be the power of memories.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask. Where's the wardrobe?
Take a guess. I remember Tykean, my most trailblazy of trailblazes. That grand debut cost me quite a few credits.
So, what exactly happened?
I saw a ball by the road, so I just casually kicked it.
And then, bam! It flew right into the ceiling, through the venue.
And scored 100 points, too! We'll travel together forever and ever.
That line sounds familiar.
Memories weave the past, bit by bit. They stretch long behind me, like shadows on the path I've walked. I wonder, what stories will the future me create?
Now for the last story, Prisoner of Flames. Cash Lana. The Lost Voyage.
In Amphorius, untitled statues are a prevalent sight. As for the inspiration behind these statues, they are said to be the clay figures that Kefali made at the world's creation. They made clay figures in their likeness, bestowed upon them the breath of life, and allowed the golden divinity of their blood to course through. Thus, the very first mortals roamed the earth, receiving the gods' mercy, while realizing the sorrows of this world. In front of a statue, the people of the holy city beheld a man, Finan of Ides Elysiae. He never spoke of his origins, only using this name to nonchalantly identify himself.
That's not really his name, is it?
People cast sidelong glances at him, their minds swirling with doubt. The man merely responds with a breezy smile, neither confirming nor disproving their speculation.
Alright, does Finan have like a meaning that I'm not aware of? Why don't I just search this up?
Finan is a soldier, one with divinity coursing through his veins. Responding to the Gold Weaver's rally call, he traveled long and far to reach the holy city, eager to bring light to the hero's path.
Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, where life too seems as small as a speck of dust.
Ballads reach him through the breeze, as though soft voices meant for him, and he responds in kind.
No matter. My existence is of little consequence.
Alright, the Finan means shining or bright in ancient Greek. I guess that's what throws people off. Who would name their kid that?
Ides Elysiae, the man's hometown, shrouded in secrecy, just like his past. Some have searched for that distant village, yet found it neither written about nor passed down through song. In every nostalgic reflection, the man crafted a vision of paradise with his exquisite poetry. Yet, within the ancient texts of the holy city, the history of that frontier village remains more obscure than the days to come. In the far-off future, the land of Amphorius will bear the marks of the hero's footsteps. With sword in hand, the man will inscribe an eternal mark in the Chrysos epic. Yet his real name may never be heard in this world again.
Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey.
Some, too, losing themselves at the very beginning of their journey.
There are no swords here, only farming tools.
Facing the ambitious boy, the shopkeeper kindly explained.
Even a rake would do. Let its worth be judged by the verses I compose with it.
Many days later, the wounded child stood upon the scorched earth, and silently he buried the ruined tool. For that was his first sword. And on the day that the black tide came, he broke the shackles of fate with that weapon true.
Let go of my beard, you white-haired rascal!
No!
Fine! You win, okay?
That was the first victory claimed by the boy, a victory often mentioned in later years, and yet he never treated it with shame.
I understood something thanks to his beard.
The others hold their breath, waiting for his thoughts, but he only gives out one response.
The victor must stay focused, and success will come when you work on nothing else.
Those words became the foundation of his existence.
Knowledge is also a power used to smite.
While studying at the Grove of Epiphany, he etched this into his heart. So he devoured thousands of books, skimming through to glean the martial powers of might. But unenlightened wisdom is merely dust. And when the next calamity approaches, all he recalled is flight. Thus, his books are always worn into shreds, for each book was read endlessly till he remembered every detail slight. When first arriving at the holy city, he was no more skilled than a soldier, except his ambition.
Even the deliverer from the sky must have their beginnings in the soil of the nations.
The elders in the holy city scorned, casting him into barracks in derision. But none expected this new recruit of unknown history made his name in one mission. Some asked him, which teacher caused such improvement? He answers with countless names, including the Inquirer's own.
Only one who treats the world as their teacher can bear its eventual destiny.
Those with golden blood are bound to succeed.
The golden heroes are born as gods, beloved.
Such words echo in the man's mind. Yet he knows glory is not where the journey begins. He misses the buried rake, worshipped the enemy with the long beard, mended his tattered books, and polished the barracks' dust-covered gear.
What forges a hero is not destiny from above, but the long journey that follows.
Now he stands here and looks back, and his past twists into a winding path. The long road to the sky stretches ahead. And towards the blazing white sun, he pens down Deliverance's name.
Final? Perhaps you're more suited to being a teacher's assistant.
There were once those who misunderstood his alias. Final, an eventuality for students, a test for knowledge gained. It may bring wisdom to light and illuminate efforts, but the word's more common meaning is nothing less than the end.
That's quite ominous.
The man pretended to be surprised and responded with a smile.
Though it does dovetail with our destiny.
Laughter resounds. The man walks the land, leaving footprints filled with joy. Despite the weight of the past, he can always laugh it away. Those nearby glance at each other, unsure of how to respond.
Perhaps I was just born easygoing.
His explanation is just as carefree.
Look at Mighty and Professor Anaxa. Boys all grow up into serious adults. But as long as I keep smiling, Akuma will always have an upbeat, shining young man.
Though, having said that, he too has quiet moments. Each time he gazed long toward the coming dawn, a smile remained fixed on his lips, paying no mind to anything else. His eyes were painted with the azure of the sky, gaze fixed on the titan bearing the world.
I was just imagining.
He explained his own trance in a comment.
Kefali too was once in mortal flesh and raiment.
Now, when the man comes with sword in hand, there is no need to doubt he will swiftly win victory. But his smile is pure. Ever since the start of the journey, he is still called a youth in this story. Youth is always ambitious, with lofty goals, but it seems that in the man's heart, only the wishes of others are held.
Apart from the ideal of deliverance, what do you have left?
The golden-haired friend once asked him so. He remained silent. Then, as he was wont to do, he simply smiled.
As long as I don't ask for too much, everything will unfold as desired.
In Amphorius, untitled statues are a prevalent sight. As for the inspiration behind these statues, they are said to be the clay figures that Kefali made at the world's creation. They made clay figures in their likeness, bestowed upon them the breath of life, and allowed the golden divinity of their blood to course through. Thus, the very first mortals roamed the earth, receiving the gods' mercy while realizing the sorrows of this world. But that sorrow was, in the end, only the sorrow of the world. Nobody ever cared what lay behind the smile, what the clay figure thought. The people likened him to the blazing sun, bringing to Amphorius a glorious dawn. And for his part, he embraced their expectations, being willing to become the perfect vessel. Like that god who shouldered the world, the man never cried or frowned. Yet he is not proud of his resolve, for sometimes he even avoids the funerals of the departed. Only out of fear that he cannot cry for those in pain. He once sought out emotions of sorrow and walked with the lowliest of people.
Henceforth, your misfortune shall be my misfortune.
Responsibly and diligently, he protected all for the people, living in dilapidated cottages, sitting on aged stools, subsisting on nuts and fruit, beset by hunger and cold. The people thanked him for his grace, like a hearth warming winter nights. The man's presence dispelled the cold, leaving warmth with promises of morrow. Whence does his warmth come from? None ask. The man gradually perceives his true nature, but he dares not speak. Unable to bear the turmoil in his heart, the man set off on a journey once more.
Then I shall go save what I can.
He was a formidable warrior, invincible in battle, and when it was necessary to sacrifice for fellows, he could do so with ease, giving up everything without a show. Just as the ballad blown on the breeze says, losses are constant on the flame-chased journey. Indeed, sacrifices were not hard for him, yet his misgivings grew with every tomorrow. Like a tear that cannot be shed, such a resolute willingness to let go comes only from the fact that in decisions, he is utterly unafraid to hurt himself.
It is because you suffer that you are so much stronger than any ordinary person.
There were also those who could understand him. Among them, the Crown Prince. But he smiled wryly in response. Perhaps everything was just human nature. Yet his misgivings never dissipated. This unknown man in an unknown corner, from time to time, is swallowed by terror.
Could it be that, unknowingly, path I walk is by no means the correct one?
Fearing only that the greater the burden, the more the mistakes. The road trod by heroes need not be that beset by thorns. Finally, at the terminus of that road, in a desolate, empty place, the man's arms tremble. The power is beyond control, savaging all around it. This is the end of his road. But perhaps he had long foreseen it, but was doomed to be powerless to change it.
I am willing to shoulder this world. That is no lie.
But before the tears could flow, they were vaporized by the heat. His light blazed brighter than the sun, but beneath it, there was but cold destruction. The nameless hero, Castellana. He had never loved himself. Why would he love this world? A gust of wind will one day sweep past, wiping away all of the man's tracks. Nearly every footprint was stamped full of the fury that filled him. That humble youth faded away with the flames into yesterday. The first ray of light to pierce the long night was brought by the burning man, but the body that bore the weight of the world was forged by the fires of wrath. Rage is a crafty emotion. It changes its face, concealing itself within the man's life. His friend fought blood-soaked battles so their people would need fight no longer. But every victory and battle he gained left him neither satisfied nor proud, only with the indifference of emptiness.
You must be careful. Duty does not drive you to wield your blade, but hate.
His teacher kindly reminded him thus.
And behind that hatred, you seem to desire the destruction of the self.
But what about his joy? Was that too merely a phony disguise? He who once laughed amidst the crowd, day after day, as though it were second nature. No, even though he knew not the meaning of love, that happy past was not a lie someone wove. But now, even those memories have melted into fury. His hatred is such that he cannot hold on to what he cherishes, though all is precious to him. Fueled with lone courage, he attempted to resist fate, but the burning sun that shines upon all creatures once fallen will incinerate the land, becoming golden death. But what of his sorrow? Indeed, the man could shed no tears. But at the moment the cycle manifested, when all that was familiar was now remote, the world collapsed, becoming empty in an instant. But the stabbing pain in the man's heart, was it but the residual warmth of his wraths? The truth no longer important, the man simply took another step forward. He wasn't willing to believe it, but was willing to acknowledge it.
There is no need to question your heart. No need to crave victory. If I am born to be a vessel of sin, then I shall roar at evil, and together with it burn.
In the endless cycles, there were some moments when the man felt everything dissolve like a dream. In that dream, he would awaken again and become once more that boy who loved to laugh. But were he to open his eyes, the fury would cast a shadow. He saw the creators choke his throat, gurgling and gasping. And in that boundless dream, he mistook them for his own jest. But their true forms were violent hatred towards the creators, towards himself, a roaring inferno. The prophecy departed, Amphorius was unable to usher in the dawn. What rises in the distance is not the morning sun, but a ball of all-devouring fire, setting the universe in conflagration, searing till the end of time.
And thus, that was what was written. Those were all interesting. Gives us insight on either some more backstory or how the characters think, which I really enjoyed. And then there was March, who played babysitter, and then we just got her a recap of her adventures. So yeah, Finon revealing that he has been putting on a facade the entire time. Or was he? Who knows? He just broke down. I collect all these. Now, I am here at the last place the story ended, and there's a mysterious frame, so let's read it before I end the stream. A familiar frame stands before you. For a split second, you feel like you are standing in the wilds of the Hizradan tribe. No, that's not right. This isn't forest. But somehow, you caught the scent of piggies. Not just one, but 3. Play with piggies? You're about to enter the piggies' room. Be careful not to let them escape. What? Ta-da! Meet the purple pig, the poison little piggy. Surprised to see you there, didn't I?
This is double speed.
Serenity is before me.
Oh my god. Freaking all.
A quick divination. Let's play for a while.
Old.
Farewell.
Can I have fun this time? This combat needs... This is double speed.
was random.
Nice. Let's do it again when
Hehehe. I knew you couldn't resist such temptation. Slump, helpless prey, treasure just waiting to be claimed. No thief in their right mind would walk away from that. Even crumbs are worth grabbing. Oh please, I've been bored of this for ages. Nope, crumbs. That's right. This is the true spirit of being a master thief. I heard about this city-state philosopher who figured out that the nature of the world is basically just eating. Plants soak up sunlight like they're starving. Animals gobble up anything they can digest. As for humans or titans, those who truly believe in the ruler of all things may feast upon wherever it exists. The physical act of gluttony may seem disgusting, but the spirit behind it is absolutely noble. Grab every treasure you spot. Grab every treasure you spot. We've got our reputation as infinite thieves to maintain. Okay. Well, that's the thing. Okay, cool. I guess. That. Standing at the end of the matrix, everything becomes crystal clear. The symbols encased in the 12 Titans runes represent an infinite loop involving 12 factors. This cold, inorganic matrix is where love made its resolute decision to depart. Together with all your companions from the past, you embrace a new tomorrow, this time with more tenderness, determination, and courage than ever before. Human, all too human. Discover a strangely familiar picture frame in Universal Matrix, Great Tomb of Names Titan. Decide with your companions to set forth against the depth of Universal Matrix, Great Tomb of the Names Titan. To set forth again. Alright. And that is where we'll end it. Goddamn. The throat irritation is like driving me insane. I really want to play Phoenix Wright again. Or Ace Attorney again. But I just keep coughing. I guess I'll try to finish the tutorial of what you call it. Mega Break. That's the thumbnail I need to do. Until then, thank you everyone who joined me today, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.